My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina, and this is our show On the Deck. And today we're actually going to be bringing up a pretty severe topic that's well within sports, and that's from high school to college to the pro levels. And we're going to be talking about performance enhancing drugs, also known as just PEDs for short.
Yep.
And a lot of athletes get caught in this mess because for whatever the reason is, they feel like they need to take this drug or some substance to help them be better on the field or the court, or to help recover from a surgery or the game or whatever's going on. But a lot of athletes get caught up in
Didn't your
these types
girlfriend
of
just
situations.
get caught doing that?
Whose?
Your girlfriend.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay, Maria Sharapova.
That's not my girlfriend. Yeah,
okay, but Maria Sharapova.
Not really my cup of tea, but no, you know, she just, that was another, she's the latest right now with all of this PED talk. And so right now we're just going to just bring up a bevy of athletes that have kind of gone through this and just kind of give our own 2 cents about it. Do you have anything initially that when this came out about Sharapova necessarily that kind of struck you wrong, or you just kind of like whatever with it, or what did you kind of?
You know, I'll be honest, and this might sound kind of controversial coming from me. I actually had a little sympathy for her.
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
Sure.
People know I'm not a big Sharapova fan, and you know, I don't sympathize with the fact that she's tall and beautiful and is super rich. Good for you. But in understanding that this was a drug she had been taking that helped her body recover during training, and then all of a sudden the World Tennis Association banned it. So now all of a sudden she's supposed to stop taking it. She's like, no, I'm going to keep taking it. This is what works for me. So honestly, I had a little sympathy for her. And I personally feel like there's way too much banning of substances for premier athletes. I understand we want to keep a level playing field as much as possible, and we'd love to see people just go mano-y-mano, who's got the most natural ability against the other. But at the end of the day, most of the sports we do are not about natural ability.
Right.
Take your favorite sport. Let's take football, my favorite sport too.
Right.
What's natural about people literally running into each other over and over and over again at full speed?
There really isn't anything that natural when you do a daily routine. It's not like, oh yeah, it's football is very much a specific type of thing that you do. So yeah, it's not natural.
And so then you've got guys who are like, we need you to be the most natural athlete, but doing an unnatural thing, something great. This is not a bash on football. Everyone should play football. But when these athletes go to recover, we don't let them smoke weed. There's a million drugs they can't take. And now you got athletes doing all kind of things, trying to help their body recover within the rules, and the rules keep changing on them. Don't they? What is that? The cryo tank where they get in there and freeze themselves to death or whatever?
Hyperbaric chambers and all these different methods that people are trying to do to try to just help themselves. And since we're kind of on that trail right there, let's just go with Peyton Manning, who's just been recently cited for the HGH.
We love you, Peyton.
Human growth hormone substance or whatever that he was taking to help repair his neck.
Alleged,
yes.
The growth hormone was sent to his home and to his wife. Peyton says he never took it.
Right.
But I think the point you're making is, so what if he did?
Right, exactly. And this is one of those situations where it's like, this is solely for recovery. This is a man that just had a thing. I don't exactly know the numbering, but I believe it was like 12 neck surgeries or something like that.
Something
like
crazy.
9 neck surgeries.
Well, one neck surgery will do it.
One's enough, but the
Really?
fact that he had multiple, how can you not have some type of substance or drug or something to just kind of help you recover and get back to where you're at? I really feel like in a situation like that, you shouldn't get punished for it. And I'm not exactly sure the whole information for Maria Sharapova, but I do kind of feel like there's kind of 2 things for her, because she's in a very competitive sport as well, and she has not been able to beat a certain person, and we all know who that is. That's
Serena Williams.
And so to me, when this is starting to come out, now it may be for injuries or recovery, but it does kind of seem like there is something that she's trying to prove by, hey, I can still beat Serena. I've done it once. She's not the only game in town type situation. And so for me, I kind of see it like that, but that doesn't excuse the fact that if it was for recovery or something like that, I have no problem with it if it's there to try to help you get back to playing at your top.
I think you bring up a really good point, because I think there's a fine line between cheating and recovery. And some people say, well, if you're helping the recovery, you are cheating. I don't understand that logic. it really, because you're asking athletes to do beyond the normal. You know, we all can run, we can all do athletic things, but when you're asking to perform at that high a level, to say that you can't take anything that helps you, and by the way, if it's available to everyone, how is it cheating if you take it?
Right. If anyone has accessibility to it,
Correct.
how is that considered cheating?
How is that considered? Now, okay, you look at Lance Armstrong. Big cheater. This is an anti-Lance Armstrong. The man had his blood taken out and they were re-oxygenating his blood and putting it back in.
Correct.
That's not something
Reinfusing the blood into, yes.
That's not something everyone is able to do. But when you're talking about, I'm just going to leave weed out of it. I said it earlier, but I'll leave that out. But when you're talking about certain drugs that you used to be allowed to take, but then your association, NFL, NBA, Tennis Association, MLB, all of a sudden says, oh, wait, this is making them recover too fast, and then they ban it. I have a problem with that, especially if it's something any of those athletes could take.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Didn't your little brother just bring up a good point about like Motrin?
Yes, we do have a new crew member to the cast here on OTD, and he brought up a great point as this topic was being brought up about PEDs and how it can be damaging to people. And he brought up the point that, hey, too much Motrin or ibuprofen can kill somebody as well.
And aspirin, too much aspirin will tear your stomach up.
Exactly. And Aleve is extremely hard on your stomach. So it's not just a clean slate for all drugs or anything that you can get over the counter to just be clean and all good and dandy. It goes across the boards there.
Anything that's not in moderation can be harmful for you. You can drink too much water. You can actually drink enough water to flood your kidneys. You can eat yourself to death. So my point is, if you've got premier athletes doing things and what they're asking for is things that help their body recover so they can get back out and do the premier things they're being asked to do, why are you banning all those substances?
Correct.
And I lied and said I wasn't going to talk about weed, but I am. I do not understand how something that is natural, it grows from the earth, it was planted on this earth, it was seeded to us.
It's been on this planet for a very, very,
probably from the beginning of
time. Exactly. Probably so. Probably
from the beginning of time. And for many, many athletes, it's literally about helping you just to relax. I'm in so much stress and distress from the workout or the game I just played, and you can't smoke weed to relax yourself. Isn't that better for you than drinking alcohol or smoking a cigarette?
Taking some other harsh drug that may not be good for you at all. And I guess for me, in this regard, when you're paying these athletes a lot of money to produce and put, fans in the seats and all of that, you've got to expect that they want to perform at a high level. And
there you go.
It does take a certain person to realize, hey, I've got to do more and I've got to figure out another way to continue to gain my edge. And so people do kind of feel like that's the only way that they have to go. And so it's really sad for those types of people, or that they feel like that. But unfortunately, that gets tied in with all the recovery stuff as well. People see performance-enhancing drugs, and immediately, you get blacklisted. So, and I think it really does have to be case by case, depending on what's going on.
Oh, it absolutely does.
And it's just crazy how people get caught up in that stuff.
Do you know who I think's taking performance-enhancing drugs? I'll probably get in trouble. I won't name a specific person. I think the entire Jamaica track team is taking something. All of a sudden, all of the American track athletes were getting in trouble for taking recovery drugs. And by the way, that's what it was, just recovery drugs. Then all of a sudden, you got the Jamaicans breaking world records by not like tenths and hundreds of seconds, by like a full second, blowing people out. And they're like, oh, we tested, man, there's nothing. I think one of them actually said it's the Jamaican yams. I bet you find those yams, and that's a performance-enhancing yam.
Well,
that's my thing.
I will.
Don't sue me.
You do have a point with that. I mean, there was a time where the USA track team, the men's sprint club, was the best on the planet,
yes.
And now we are, for the most part, second to Jamaica, and those people are jogging across. How did they not
running backwards across the finish line,
doing cartwheels over the finish line, and no one has found anything on them yet? Come on, man. Everyone else is getting blasted, and they not. I don't know.
So the point is, if you got some Jamaican yams that are making you good, just make them available to everybody, and you keep the field level.
Yeah, let everyone get some of that Jamaican yams. All right, that's all we're saying. Well, once again, that's us from On the Deck. My name is Adam Arduna. This is my mom, Gina. We want to say thank you for our cameraman holding it down for us today. And we just want to say thanks for watching, folks.